Okay, that's good. I was looking to see if there were any other things besides DAL-E. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So this is, how did you generate these images?
I tell the
DAL-E did these?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Separately, and I glue them together.
Yeah. Do you know what, like what words you gave to DAL-E to generate this one?
Give me a grid heat.
A heat map. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so this is the idea. This is exactly the idea. So this is actually interesting. So, did you ask DAL-E for a choropleth?
Yeah, and I tell them use a saturation of color. And click variation. It makes this one.
Okay, that's really good. In this one?
If you scroll down, you can see the initial.
The initial. Okay.
This is
Yeah.
my-
Okay.
If you scroll down, it is initial version of the
Yep.
map.
Yep. It would be interesting to see if you can get like.
Dots.
Okay. Let's see. So that's the text that you gave.
Yeah.
Draw a Europe choropleth maps. The color saturation field in each country represents the death rate of the country. Okay, that's really interesting. So it can create some synthetic visual designs. So that's useful. Yeah. Oh, it even has a kind of color legend, but there's no labels. Yep, okay, that's good. Abstract, well, okay, I'm not sure I understand this one. But at least you gave it a good try. Okay. What language is that? Yeah. Okay, good, good. Okay, those are interesting ideas, but it looks like DAL-E can generate some interesting images. Okay, so that's not going to be very helpful. Oh, yeah, you're right. Thank you. That's a little bit strange that you have to sign in. Okay. So this is a sketch, right? Okay, how did you draw that?
On the iPad.
On the iPad? Okay. Good. So that's sort of like what I did. But that's fine. You'd want to have, I mean, in reality, there would be some, ups and downs due to political conflicts. Is this this is another drawing program, or
The AI.
it's the DAL-E? Okay. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. I should have asked for the actual words that you use to generate the plot.
Basically, the input is create a line chart visualizing the relationship between the year, which is the x-axis, and the death rate, y-axis, with labeled axis and a color legend indicating each country.
Nice.
Trends over time and make it easy to compare the countries.
Nice. Did you do that in like a different language? In Mandarin or something? Or did you...
No, in English, but the...
Oh, your UI is set up in Mandarin, is that why? I see, I see. Okay, that's impressive. So that's very useful, I would say. That's very useful. Another interesting exercise would be to actually give it the URL of the data source and see if it can do anything with that actual data. Okay, so that's the line chart. Do you know what this is? Does anybody know what that is? I'm not sure. No? Okay, it's just an experiment. Okay. These are like earlier versions of the experiment. Is that what this is? Anybody know? But these are, okay. Okay, it looks interesting. Anybody else want to submit something?
Okay, Bob.
Yeah.
What you mentioned about Mandarin is that what you saw on the x-axis, that's not Mandarin, that's just some random words.
Random? Okay.
Generated by that AI.
Okay, okay. But it still gives the idea of like what it could look like. It would be interesting to practice queries and get the queries better and better to see if you can get more and more interesting images. Okay, any other things to review? Okay, here's another one. Okay, yep, that could be a possibility. Kind of matrix chart. How did you guys generate this chart? Which team is this? How did you generate this chart?
Using Figma.
Heat map.
Yeah, heat map.
Heat map. Did you which software did you use?
Figma.
Figma. Okay. Okay. Yep, that could be possible. Yep. Okay, I see. Figma. Yep. Yep. Yeah, something like this would be very interesting. A world map with the colors. That would be interesting. And having it animated over time would also be interesting. Has anybody here heard of cartograms before? So cartograms are maps, but the shape of the countries changes depending on some data attribute. So I could imagine a cartogram where mortality is mapped to the country size, and as the mortality rate decreases, the country sizes also decrease, for example. That would be interesting. So that's a good one. That's interesting how it's generating these like random letters. That's really interesting. But yes, something like this could work. A stacked bar chart. On the x-axis could be countries, on the y-axis could be mortality rate, something like that. Okay, that's interesting. This is with DAL-E, yeah? I didn't know that DAL-E generated these kind of random, letters. I didn't know that. Anyone else want to share their Google Docs or anything like that? So now the question is DAL-E helpful for coursework too? Anybody have any ideas? Any thoughts? I think
When we design it, we can see the effect.
Yeah, I think it could potentially be useful. It could potentially. My impression is that using ChatGPT and DALL-E is a skill, like, and it requires training, like the user training to figure out, okay, what is the best input I can give this machine to get the best output. That's my impression. I don't know for sure. But yeah, something like this is useful to get a preview of what something could look like. I think it is useful to get some very, very quick ideas. On the other hand, this could be a future workshop. Can anybody think of an alternative to DALL-E in this case? Okay, I'll show you an alternative right now. This is going to be this one. So if I just Google choropleth map of country versus mortality, probably I'll get lots of, better images actually, right? So I can click on these and get actual images. So probably Google is better for this exercise than DALL-E or ChatGPT actually. Yeah. Any other submissions? Anybody wants to review? Okay, I'm going to take some time to think about the group prize. I won't say it right now. Okay, if there are no other questions or comments or submissions, we can stop and here.
Well, I have an idea.
Okay.
How about we use graph and each node is the quantitative the country has to show the mortality.
Yep, I think that would be great to represent each country as a glyph, and then the glyph, you could imagine a map, a map, imagine this is like the US. I should use a color that's a little bit more visible. And then, on top of the US, you could have a glyph that just represents mortality over time. This could be like a line graph actually going around in a circle, or it could be a bar chart. Actually, a bar chart would be better because then you could see the lengths getting shorter and shorter over time. Yeah, that would be good.
But one problem, some countries get to the banks.
That's right. The countries are too small.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Any other questions, comments? Okay, well, we'll wrap up there then, and you're free. You're free to go.